All right, so today is about a very, very quick test to see how client-centered your sessions are. So if you think you're already client-centered in your sessions, this is going to blow your mind because this mini task really definitely blew my mind because I thought I was very intuitive and I thought that I let the clients talk, but if I actually looked at my sessions objectively, that was not the case. And this question, I really want you to think about it and be very honest with yourself. Look at your sessions, the typical length of your sessions, and within that time frame, how many minutes do you spend talking as the hypnotherapist versus the client talking? Like, put a percentage. Is it, 50-50? Do you speak half the time and then your client speaks half the time? Or is it like 80-20 when you spend most of the time talking and 20% the client? Let me tell you, it was around that. I would say when I use a traditional method that was a hybrid of NLP and hypnosis, I did 70% of the talking, a lot at the beginning, and in the middle, I talked a lot too, but not as much. In the middle was probably like 60-40, and at the end, it was just me and my clients were just listening to the recording. So I would say 70% of the time I was talking and my client was 30. The client talked 30% of the time. Now, if you look at those statistics and those percentages, is that really client-centered? So I'm talking 70% of the time, and my client is only talking 30% of the time. Is that client-centered? The answer is no. And the answer that I had to be honest with myself is that no, it's not really client-centered. I was made to believe that it was client-centered, but if like literally objectively taking it very simply and looking at the big picture, 70% of me talking is not client-centered. If the transformation is for the client, why the fuck am I talking 70% of the time? That doesn't make any sense, right? And so the reason why I bring this up is because back then I didn't know that this was the problem, right? I knew that the method that I was trained in was hit or miss. It was very exhausting. It started to lose its steam very quickly, like less than a year of me using it. It really fell flat to its face after just a year. And so that is not a good thing, right? Because these methods we're supposed to be using for life and evolve with, but that one had a shelf life. And it was because of this. One of the reasons was because of this, because my integrity, my value as a human being is definitely client-centered care. And 70% of me talking is not client-centered care. So unconsciously, I knew that I wasn't delivering the best results for my clients. And that was the reason why it was hit or miss results. Like some clients would do well and some clients wouldn't because of the fact that it wasn't client-centered. And the 70-30 percentage was one of the reasons. So I would really encourage you to think about this. This is an uncomfortable realization to have, but I am not here to be all sunshine and rainbows. I am here to help hypnotherapists grow. I am here to help hypnotherapists to be sought after in their field. And there ain't no sugarcoating here. It's all about transparency and honesty and looking at challenging, uncomfortable things, because that is how we grow. I will not sugarcoat any of my students. I will tell them the absolute truth. And that's what the ACH training and program is all about. So hopefully this helped you as well. This is not meant to demean anything. This is meant to encourage your growth and thinking so that you can be of best service to yourself and your clients. So let's make massive impact together, one conversation at a time.